I want to tell you about the time I won the Super Cash jackpot. Yeah, I won the lottery. Worst thing that ever happened to me too, and I'm going to tell you why. So in case you don't know who I am, I'm Mike. I'm 45 years old. I'm from Wisconsin, and I have 16 years in recovery. Just celebrated 16 years on February 16th. Now anyone that's in recovery from addiction will tell you that they were chemically dependent and willing to do anything to get that money needed to get that next fix. So one hustle I came up with after I borrowed money from everyone I could borrow from, stole from everyone I could steal from, I had a gas station close to my house that would let me charge lottery tickets. So back in the day, it was a lot easier to get credit cards than it is now. They would send you things in the mail. I would say I owned a house when I lived with my parents. I would say that I made $100,000 a year when I didn't have a job. And these companies would send me cards with ridiculous limits, like $25,000, $5,000, $10,000, all sorts of ranges. So what I would do is I would go to the gas station, I would take out every bit of money I could with the cash advance and every other trick I could figure out. So I'd go up there and I would charge some scratchers. Yep, that's what we call them. And back in the day, they didn't have a lot of options for those. It was like $1. There were a couple that were $2, and then $5 was the big one, right? So I'd charge a bunch of these tickets, scratch them up. Hopefully I come up with enough money to get what I need that day and not get sick. That's the main goal, not get sick. Because boy, do I have some PTSD from that withdrawal. One day I'm in line to get my scratchers, and the guy in front of me is getting lottery tickets for that night's Powerball, because the jackpot was really large. One of the state's largest jackpots ever. I'm like, what the heck? You know what? It's a very low percentage chance, but I'll buy a couple Powerball, a couple Super Cash, and I kid you not, that same day, that same night, I won the Super Cash. I circled every single number on that ticket. Now you're probably like, how much money was that, Mike? It was $250,000. Worst thing you can give somebody an active addiction is $250,000. And I know what you're thinking. If you gave me $250,000 in active addiction, I wouldn't still be here to talk about it. I'm very blessed. I'm very lucky. Because I'll tell you what, I was doing a lot of different things too. Here's what I remember about it. I remember, because that's a big blur back then, but I remember winning, a friend bringing me up to Milwaukee, because that's where you had to go to cash in. The guy there was not very happy for me. He was an older gentleman that was probably looking at it like, this punk kid will blow it, and boy was he right. It only took me about 2 months to go through that entire amount of money. Wild, huh? I know. It's pretty wild. And on top of that, I had maxed out every credit card I could. And on top of that, I opened up accounts, credit card accounts in my parents' name. And I took out money on those without them knowing. And you can't do that nowadays. But back then, it was a lot easier to. All you needed to know was a little bit of information and know how to play hide and seek with the mail and how to answer the phone and how to hide the phone off the hook. Now, obviously, I'm not proud about this. And it's one of the hardest things, it was one of the hardest things for me to overcome, was some of the financial ruin that I had put my parents in. And I can't tell you how many times I woke up and said, if I could just have a do-over with that amount of money and do it sober, what I could do with that money today. Just remember, everything really does happen for a reason. And I know a lot of people hear that and think, you know, well, he didn't go through what I went through. It was supposed to happen. It was supposed to happen. Without that happening, I wouldn't have came up to the area I came up to get clean, sober. I wouldn't have met Mrs. Mike. I wouldn't be on TikTok, and I wouldn't have met the Mars Stars, my amazing family that I've made on this app. I can honestly look you in the face and tell you I'm over it and I'm happy. I'm so happy. I'm blessed. When things get tough, and they will, just remember you woke up today. And you woke up today and you're not sick. Oh, man, what a great feeling that is. Now, if you're in recovery from addiction, drop me a follow. Listen, I make a lot of content, and I go live every single morning at 8:30 in the morning Central. Make sure to drop me a follow, stop in my live. I promise you, you'll enjoy yourself. And every day you come to my live, you're going to notice yourself growing. You're going to notice yourself healing. And you're going to make a lot of great connections, which is, in my opinion, the most important thing in recovery. To have a lot of great connections that are going to help you through some of those struggles. But Also, celebrate your wins. I love you, Mars Moment.